まともになりたい、普通の生活がしたい。37、8年帰ってないので交差してます。
本当に生きてるっていう確証が持てればかなって。
In the time it takes you to watch this video, 3 people will vanish from their lives in Japan. Not kidnapped, not murdered. They will simply evaporate. Every day, 219 people disappear in Japan by choice. They abandon their families, their jobs, their entire identities, leaving behind nothing but silence and devastation. They call them Jouhatsu, the evaporated people, and their numbers are growing.
結局失踪した人っていうのは本当に失踪したくてしてる人、自分が行方不明になりたいというか、その場からいなくなりたいと思う人と、ある日を境にぱったりともう帰ってこなくなって、パートナーから離れていなくなってしまう。それっきり消息も不明。
Japan presents itself to the world as a model of social harmony, low crime rates, technological advancement, cultural refinement. But beneath this polished surface lies a darker reality. Official statistics show 82,000 people reported missing each year. That's 1 person every 7 minutes. But experts believe the real number is several times higher, potentially hundreds of thousands who vanish without ever being reported. Unlike other countries where missing persons trigger massive search efforts, in Japan, disappearing has become an industry. Professional companies openly advertise services to help people vanish, charging between $450 and $2,600 to erase someone's existence overnight.
TSC という夜逃げ屋を経営したんですけど、人知れずもう必要最小限度の荷物を出して、でもちろん行く場所誰にも知られないように。
西成では人の名前が本名でも偽名でも関係ないし、何も持ち物もなくても生活できますね。
On a cold morning in 2002, 24-year-old Naoki Miyamoto boarded a ferry at Tokyo port. His belongings were found on the ship. He was never seen again.
っていうか、私たちは仕事に行ったと思ってたんですけど、結局その時はもう辞めてたっていうのは分かったんですけれども、後から。
For over 20 years, Tsuyoshi has searched for his younger brother. He visits train stations with missing posters, speaks to anyone who might have seen Naoki, and maintains hope that grows more fragile each year.
なんていうんですか、特に母は急激に老けて、だんだんちょっと2人とも耳も聞こえなくなってきてるんで、なんかこう写真だけでもいいんで、今もう生きてんのか死んでんのか分かんないっていうのは結構辛いものもあるんで。
Naoki had been an engineering student with a promising future, but after losing his job, he couldn't bear the shame of telling his family. So each morning, he would dress for work and pretend to catch the train, spending his days wandering Tokyo instead. This pattern, job loss followed by desperate concealment, appears in case after case. In a society where workplace failure carries devastating shame, disappearing often seems like the only option.
もうそういう人間関係が嫌になって、僕はもう飛び出してきたっていう感じですよね。家出るときに普通に会社行ってくるわって言うてスーツケース持って出てきたっていう感じなんで。
To understand Japan's epidemic of disappearances, you must first understand its work culture. The statistics are staggering. 20% of Japanese companies report employees working more than 80 hours of overtime monthly. Some documented cases show workers logging 4,320 hours annually, equivalent to working 6 months straight without a single day off. Professor Takehiko Kariya of Oxford University's Nissan Institute stated, "Everybody's watching each other all the time. There's no exit, no escape. That very group-oriented society now consists of very separated, individualized people. Living alone is becoming more and more common. People are very lonely. The Jouhatsu phenomenon exploded during Japan's economic collapse in the 1990s. As unemployment spiked from 3.5% to 4.5%, missing person cases jumped 34% in a single year. The term itself, meaning evaporation, was first used in the 1960s when divorce rates were so low that vanishing became preferable to formal separation. Divorce rates were, and still are, very low in Japan, so some people decided it was easier to just up and leave their spouses instead of going through elaborate, formal divorce proceedings.
だけど日本の場合は、個人情報が守られるので、逃げてしまうとその人を追いかけることって非常に難しい。警察は事件性があるとか、何かその犯罪に絡むことであれば人を探したりとかしますけど、自分の意思でいなくなった人を積極的には探さないですね。犯罪とかを起こしてなければ本当見つからないと思います。今でだいたい20年で3000件近くやってますね。で、その3000件は全て大家さんの代理人でお金を払わない人とかいなくなってしまった方々への裁判手続きが多いです。相手の方がいなくなっちゃうっていうことですよね。それは 90% ですね。はい。どっかでいなくなります。どこに行ったかもわからないっていうのが多いですね。
This culture has created what experts call karoshi, death by overwork. While only 200 cases are officially recognized annually, researchers estimate the true number exceeds 10,000 deaths per year. For many facing this fate, disappearing offers what seems like the only alternative. Faced with a choice of ending one's life, working to death, or simply vanishing and starting life over, vanishing would seem a better option. Better missing than dead. Those who disappear often end up in places like Sanya in Tokyo or Kamagasaki in Osaka, forgotten districts where people can live anonymously, working day jobs with no questions asked. These areas have become informal refugees for Japan's evaporated people. Sugimoto was 42 years old when he made his decision. A family business owner in a small town, he faced overwhelming pressure to continue a prominent local enterprise that had been in his family for generations.
力引き継いだ会社でうまく回らなくなってきて、一族の恥やっていう風な感じは僕は思ってしまったんですよね。
Today, Sugimoto lives in a Tokyo residential district, working for a night-moving company, one of the businesses that helps people disappear. He hasn't seen his 3 children in over a year. The weight of abandoning his family haunts him daily. But his 13-year-old son, remarkably, has shown unexpected understanding of his father's impossible situation. Sugimoto now works for Miho Saita, who runs Japan's largest night-moving company. Saita herself is a former Jouhatsu. She disappeared 17 years ago to escape domestic violence.
今まで17年間やってきて、だいたい1500件ぐらいはもう遺伝に携わってるんですけど、それでバレたことはないですね。
Her company, Yonigeya TS Corporation, helps 100 to 150 people disappear annually, operating 22 branch offices across Japan. They receive 5 to 10 inquiries every day from people desperate to vanish. Japan's Jouhatsu phenomenon isn't isolated. Similar patterns are emerging in South Korea, parts of China, and even Western countries with rigid work cultures. The difference is scale and social acceptance. Britain, with half of Japan's population, reports 300,000 missing person calls annually, nearly 4 times Japan's official rate. This suggests either massive underreporting in Japan or a cultural normalization of disappearance. Professor Tom Gill of Meiji Gakuin University stated that There's a parallel between the expunging of outcast settlements from Edo maps and the removal of the name Sanya from the Tokyo map. It's part of a long-standing tradition of pretending that a problem doesn't exist. The economic cost is staggering. Japan loses significant working-age population annually to disappearances, creating ripple effects through families, companies, and communities. Meanwhile, the underground economy that facilitates these disappearances operates openly, with published manuals like the Complete Manual of Disappearance readily available. For families left behind, the pain is compounded by legal limbo. Japanese privacy laws prevent them from accessing security footage or financial records. After 7 years, marriages are automatically dissolved, but hope often persists far longer. Organizations like the Missing Persons Search Support Association work tirelessly to support families and advocate for policy changes. They estimate the true scale of Japan's missing persons crisis and push for government acknowledgement. Recent reforms show promise. The 2018 Work-Style Reform Act limits overtime to 45 hours monthly, though compliance remains challenging. A new loneliness minister position was created in 2021 to address social isolation, recognizing that disappearance is often a symptom of deeper societal disconnect. Sho Hattori, pioneer night moving company founder, said, "Normally, the reason for moving is something positive, like entering university, getting a new job, or a marriage. But there's also sad moving. For example, like dropping out of university, losing a job, or escaping from a stalker. What we did was support people to start a second life." Mental health awareness is slowly growing, with some companies implementing stress check programs and counseling services. The key is creating alternatives to disappearance, ways for people to change their lives without completely erasing their existence. Breaking this silence is the first step toward healing. As more people share their stories, those who disappeared and those left behind, Japan begins to confront the human cost of its rigid social expectations. Today, Tsuyoshi Miyamoto continues his search for Naoki. His persistence represents hope that family bonds can survive even the deepest despair, and that love can bridge the gap left by the evaporated. Until Japan addresses the systemic pressures driving 80,000 people to disappear each year, the Jouhatsu will remain a haunting reminder that beneath the surface of social harmony, profound human suffering often goes unseen,